basically the orthogonality. Now this orthogonality of legendary polynomial plays a very vital role in almost all branches of physics, maybe in quantum mechanics, maybe in electrodynamics, or in solid state physics. This orthogonality property of legendary functions or legendary polynomial has great importance. So before going for this legendary polynomials, we'll go from some numerical properties which are discussed as follows. Okay, so this may be third or fourth, whatever. You can write this number and first write this property. We have to show that n plus 1 into p n plus 1 of x is equal to this is equal to, show that this is twice n plus 1 into x times p n of x minus n times p n minus 1 of x. Actually we are going to discuss this later on. This is called as a recurrence relation. Now we have seen what is this recurrence relation in case of series solution. So this recurrence relation here, it gives you, this is n minus 1th, this is nth, and this is n plus 1th legendary polynomial. That means knowing p0 and p1 I can find out p2, knowing p1 and p2 one can find out p3, knowing p2 and p3 one can find out p4, and thereby if earlier two polynomials are known, third polynomial can be obtained from this simple equation, which is called as a recurrence relation. We have to prove this recurrence relation in the following manner. Okay, so let's go for a proof. It's very simple, and mathematical proof can be given as follows. So consider generating function. Generating function, we have written this function yesterday. G of xt is equal to, in the bracket, 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to minus half. This is by generating function, and expanding the generating function we get a power series n equal to 0 to infinity. Now these are the coefficient, actually legendary polynomials, p1 of x, and this power series is in t raised to n. So this is what a generating function for legendary polynomial, and we have shown all these things. Okay, now let's see, we have to differentiate. We can call this equation 1 here for this problem. Differentiate above equation with respect to variable t, small variable small t. This is a variable we have to differentiate, with which we have to differentiate this above equation. Okay, differentiate this part and this part. So what I am differentiating here is, so see this is, okay, that is what we have to go for. D by dt of the bracket, the term in the bracket is 1 minus twice xt plus t square bracket raised to minus half. This is to be differentiated, and here also this is d by dt of, in the bracket, summation over n equal to 0 to infinity, this is pn of x into t raised to n. So here that shows you the pn of x, or summation n equal to 0 to infinity pn of x, is not a function of time, sorry, t. Therefore this can be taken outside. So this only t raised to n is a function of t, and here 1 minus twice xt into plus t raised to 2 bracket raised to 1 half. This entire thing can be assumed as a function of t except this one. So this is a simple differentiation. Obtain this differentiation. So whatever quantity in the bracket, it is having power raised to minus half. So minus half comes out. So therefore minus half into the bracket 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to minus half minus 1 into the differential of the terms in the bracket with respect to t is this minus twice x plus differential of t square with respect to t is twice t. This is the differential of the left hand side. On the right hand side we will get here summation over n equal to 0 to infinity pn of x, as it is, because we are differentiating with respect to t, and therefore this comes to be n times t raised to n minus 1. Simple differentiation. Now rearrange this. So there is a 2 in the denominator, there is a 2 here and here. These 2 can be cancelled, and therefore, and this is negative, minus minus becomes plus, plus minus becomes negative, and therefore I can write here to be x minus t, and this quantity in the bracket here, this is, so this minus 1 can be taken in the denominator this way. So it is 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to minus half in the numerator, divide by this quantity in the bracket 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to 1, that can be written in the denominator. That is equal to, right hand side is as simple as it is given, summation over n equal to 0 to infinity n times Pn of x into t raised to n minus 1. Okay, now I can take this quantity here in the denominator, that can be taken on the right hand side. So further adjustment gives me this way. So it is simply, next step is x minus t into the bracket 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to minus half is equal to, this time it is now 1 minus twice xt plus t square bracket and multiplied by summation over n equal to 0 to infinity n times Pn of x into t raised to n minus 1. Okay, n minus 1. Now I can replace this, because I know that this quantity is nothing but, because as per our definition, g of xt is equal to this bracket 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to minus half is equal to summation or n equal to 0 to infinity, this is Pn of x into t raised to n. This is the definition of our legendary function or legendary polynomial. I can replace this, therefore it is x minus t into summation or n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this is Pn of x multiplied by t raised to n is equal to, and simplify this. Now there are 3 terms, 1 into this, minus twice xt into this, and t square multiplied by this. So I'll recall this, and I can write this as summation or n equal to 0 to infinity. First term is n times Pn of x into t raised to n minus 1. Now this is minus, so it minus comes out, summation over, so 2 can be written here or 2 can be written outside of this. So I can write twice x out of this, twice x is here, minus sign is outside, so minus twice x, t can be taken inside. Now t raised to 1 into t raised to n minus 1 is now becomes t raised to 1, t raised to n. So it is n times Pn of x into t raised to n. So remember, this t has been adjusted to this minus 1, and therefore it becomes t raised to n. And last term is plus summation or n equal to 0 to infinity, then it is n times Pn of x multiplied by, now this is t raised to n minus 1 into t raised to plus 2, minus 1 plus 2 is plus 1, so this becomes t raised to n plus 1. Or again simplify this, because this is again remaining product here, so it is x times summation or n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this is Pn of x into t raised to n minus summation or n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this t is taken inside, so that becomes t raised to n plus 1. So it is Pn of x into t raised to n plus 1 is equal to, again right hand side is the same, n equal to 0 to infinity, then it is n times Pn of x into t raised to n minus 1 minus twice x summation or n equal to 0 to infinity. Here also you should write 0 to infinity, every time it is the same, n times Pn of x into t raised to n plus summation or n equal to 0 to infinity n times Pn of x into t raised to n plus 1. Call this to be equation 2 now. Okay, so simplifying this, I got this type of term, 1, term 2, 3, 4, 5. Right hand side there are 3 terms, on left hand side there are 2 terms, and now see the powers. In the left hand side, first term power of t raised to n, Second term on the left hand side has terms, power of the term is t raised to n plus 1. First term on the right hand side has its power t raised to n minus 1. Second term on the right hand side RHS has its power is t raised to plus n, this, and here this is power is t raised to n plus 1. Now what we have to do, we have to make certain changes in this equation, that this will become t raised to n, it is there, this will become t raised to n, so adjust n is equal to n minus 1. Now n minus 1 plus 1 will be t raised to n. Accordingly this n will change. Here it is n minus 1, so you have to write this to be n plus 1, so this will become n plus 1 p n plus 1 of x into t raised to n. So we have to the coefficient of t raised to n, so we have to make whatever except t raised to n, whatever terms in this above expression, its power is to be met with t raised to n, and to make that we have to make certain changes. Making these changes, so I can write one statement here, comparing coefficients of t raised to n. So before that we have to do this conversion, comparing coefficient of t raised to n on both sides of above equation, or this equation 2. We get, see what we get. Now this will remain as it is, x into summation n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this is Pn of x into t raised to n as it is, minus this time this will be written as n equal to 0 to infinity. So here it is to be n minus 1, so n minus 1 plus 1 will be t raised to n, so this becomes p n minus 1 of x into t raised to n. This is the left hand side adjustment. Right hand side is n minus 1, so we have to make t raised to n, and therefore n is to be kept as n plus 1, so therefore it is summation over n equal to 0. This time it becomes n plus 1 into p n plus 1 of x multiplied by t raised to n. So I am making powers of t raised to n everywhere common in all the terms of left hand side as well as right hand side of equation number 2, minus twice x summation over n equal to 0 to infinity. Here this is t raised to n, we are not needed to do anything here, so n Pn of x into t raised to n, and the last term here it is n plus 1, so we have to adjust n by n minus 1, so n minus 1 plus 1 is t raised to n, and therefore here also I'll get n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this is n minus 1 multiplied by p n minus 1 of x into t raised to n. So in this equation 3, everywhere we have made powers of t raised to n is just same or common. This has been made same or common, and therefore I can remove this symbol here, or the summation sign here, and equating all these terms we will get. Okay, now what we will get, I'll get this to be x times Pn of x from the first term, minus this is Pn minus 1 of x on the right hand side is equal to, here it is n plus 1, remove this symbol everywhere, not needed there, n plus 1 into Pn plus 1 of x, then minus twice x n times Pn of x, this is the second term on the right hand side, and plus this is n minus 1 multiplied by Pn minus 1 of x. So I got this equation. Now rearrange in the sense, now there is minus 1 Pn minus 1 of x, and this is Pn minus 1 of x with negative sign, so this term is same here and here, it can be cancelled. Then there is one term of x here, there is one term of twice x here, these terms also can be adjusted with each other. This term here is I can write this as separate, so this is highest Pn plus 1, so that can be separated out. Therefore rearranging, we will get first left hand side is n plus 1 times Pn plus 1 of x is equal to, I can take this term on the left hand side as well as here this n into Pn minus 1 of x, this also term can be taken on the left hand side, and therefore adjusting these terms, one will get this expression as x times in the bracket 2n plus 1. You can rearrange this. एक मधली स्टेप तुम्हाला हवी तर तुम्ही करून ठेवू शकता. Multiplied by Pn of x and minus n times Pn minus 1 of x. And this is my required sign. Now look at this. This is what we have been asked. We have to prove that n plus 1 into the bracket multiplied by Pn plus 1 of x is equal to twice n plus 1 into x, or x into twice n plus 1 Pn x minus n times Pn minus 1 of x. And this is what the required answer of this problem. Okay, so remember, we will write few things out here. This is the required result. This is the required result. There are many such problems there. Few of that we are going to discuss in the class here, but we have to write something note here. Okay, note this equation here itself in equation number 4, which we have calculated. This is 3 term. Okay, this equation number 4 is 3 term recurrence relation. A recurrence relation between Legendre polynomials. Between Legendre polynomials. That means if one knows this equation, if I know P0 and P1, we can calculate P2. Next, if I know P1 and P2, I can calculate P3. If I know P2 and P3, one can calculate P4. So that's what each and every Legendre function or further can be calculated if previous two are known. Okay, that's why this is called as the recurrence relation for Legendre polynomial. Same recurrence relation we have obtained in earlier our discussion of this power series solution. Just look at once. एकदम मागं तुमच्या टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये किंवा तुमच्या वहीमध्ये बघून ठेवा. Same type of recurrence relation we have obtained there too in the Legendre function or Legendre polynomials, or when we went for this type of Legendre polynomials or actually Legendre differential equation. So this is another important property of this particular Legendre function. Okay, this is the third. Fourth, now let's go to the fifth one. They are not difficult to understand. Once we go for step and by step, each step and every step, how differential has been carried, how terms have been adjusted, etc. It is not at all difficult to get this type of recurrence relation which connects 3 different successive Legendre polynomials. That means P1, P0, P1 and P2. If I know P1 and P2, then P3 can be calculated, and likewise further members of this Legendre function can be calculated, or all polynomials can be calculated using this type of recurrence relation. So this is important from the examination point of view. Now next, one more derivation you have to go here. This is P dash n plus 1 of x. This is differential of P with respect to x, first differential. That's why P dash, first differential, plus P dash of n minus 1 of x. Again, differential of P n minus 1 of x with respect to x, first differential. So that is P dash n minus 1 of x is equal to twice x, then differential of x, that is P dash n of x plus Pn of x. So this is also INP, important from the examination point of view, both for TYBSc as well as MSc. This derivation is also very many times asked. Now the difference between what first derivation we have done and here, in the first case we have differentiated that given generating function with respect to t, variable t. This time we have to differentiate this given your generating function with respect to x, first variable, and then we get this type of equation as shown here. Okay, now again let's go for proof. Straightforward, just like similar first problem we will discuss here, we will do here. Write this as consider generating function. Okay, now it is well known to us. This is g of xt is equal to 1 minus twice xt plus t square, that raised to minus half, is equal to summation over n equal to 0 to infinity Pn of x into t raised to n. This is known to be very many times we have used this. Now differentiating with respect to x, with respect to variable x. Now the term containing x is both twice xt, and the term on right hand side there is Pn of x. So differential of Pn of x, first differential is given by P dash n of x. So getting this differential, so I write it separately. It is d by dx of, again in the same bracket, 1 minus twice xt plus t square this raised to minus half, bracket complete, is equal to d by dx of summation over n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this time it is Pn of x into t raised to n. Remember, t raised to n is not function of x, so this can be taken directly outside, and therefore differential of left hand side, it is again minus half into the bracket 1 minus twice xt plus t square. This bracket is as it is. Sorry, minus half minus 1, that gives you minus 3 by 2, and differential of the term here, 1 is not function of x, so its differential is 0. T square is also not a function of x, so its differential is 0. So mean between term minus twice xt is the only function of x, and therefore differential of twice xt with respect to x is simply twice t with negative sign. So that is the left hand side, is equal to summation over n equal to 0 to infinity. As I said, this is only differential P dash n of x into t raised to n as it is. Now again rearrange this 1/2 negative and this minus 2, they can be cancelled, so it becomes plus, and therefore I'll get here to be t into, again just like what we did earlier, I can write this as 1 minus twice xt plus t square, that raised to minus half, and the minus 1 here, that can be taken in the denominator, so it is 1 minus twice xt plus t square, that raised to 1. This is rearrangement, and t is there, so it is equal to summation over n equal to 0 to infinity P dash n of x into t raised to n. So as usual, the numerator in the left hand side, that can be replaced by our this equation number 1 right hand side. Therefore this is t into summation over n equal to 0 to infinity, this is Pn of x into t raised to n. I can replace this bracket, this is generating function, take this term on the right hand side, so it is 1 minus twice xt plus t square, and this time it is summation over n equal to 0 to infinity P dash n of x into t raised to n. So again simplify this, what we did in earlier case. So doing this, therefore it is summation over n equal to 0 to infinity. Now this time Pn of x, and this t is taken inside, so it becomes t raised to n plus 1 is equal to, now there are 3 terms, so it is summation over n equal to 0 to infinity P dash n of x into t raised to n, that is first term, minus 2 into x outside of this bracket, n is equal to 0 to infinity, this is a summation symbol, and this is P dash of n into x, sorry, P dash n of x into this t is to be taken inside the bracket, so it becomes t raised to n plus 1, and lastly this is t square, so directly it becomes plus summation over n equal to 0 to infinity, and this is P dash n of x into t raised to n plus 2, n is there and this plus 2 is added there. So I'll get this, this you can call this to equation 2. Now here also we have to adjust in a manner on both sides, on left hand side as well as right hand side, that I'll get power of every t is t raised to n. So in the first left hand side we have to replace n by n minus 1, so it becomes Pn minus 1 of x into t raised to n. In the first term on the right hand side, this is t raised to n, so no adjustment there in that term. In the second term on RHS there is t raised to n plus 1. So here also we have tried n minus 1, then it becomes t raised to n, and in the last term it is n minus 2. So add n minus 2, and accordingly we have to make the changes there, and we will get this next equation as so making this, I can write, now remove this what is this summation sign on both sides. So it is Pn minus 1, and write once again Pn minus 1 of x, this is the left hand side, is equal to P dash n of x, that is the right hand side first term, minus 2x into P dash n minus 1 of x, and plus P dash n minus 2 of x. Okay, call this to equation 3. I did nothing, I have just made t raised to n same on all sides. Accordingly I have adjusted values of n in each term. Somewhere we are supposed to adjust it, somewhere we are not supposed to adjust it. Okay, so now replace n by n plus 1. Replacing, this is one more step adjustment we have to do, replacing n by n plus 1 in above equation, in equation 3 replace this. So everywhere n, replace n by n plus 1, and therefore what we will get is, replacing this n by n plus 1 become n plus 1 minus 1 becomes Pn of x. So left hand side is Pn of x is equal to, right hand side is now P dash n plus 1 of x, because we are replacing n by n plus 1, minus twice x, and this is P dash n of x, because n plus 1 minus 1 is now simply Pn of x, P dash n of x, and plus here n plus 1, so 1 will go here, and this becomes P dash n minus 1 of x. And now take both the differential terms there on the left hand side, n plus 1 and n minus 1. So this and this term taken on one side, therefore P dash n plus 1 of x plus P dash n minus 1 of x is equal to, this is twice x. Okay, changing the symbols, twice x, P dash n of x plus Pn of x, and this is what the required result. So this is the required result. This is the required result. Okay, no more discussion needed for that. So these are the two important properties which are very frequently asked in examination, both for PG and UG, as I said earlier. So sometimes derivation 1 or derivation 2 or any of these two can be asked in examination. So be prepared for regarding this. All given in the textbook. This is important property. Now sixth, another important property, that is called as parity. Yesterday we have talked about this. Parity is an operation. Okay, this is an operation where coordinates exchanged. Okay, now we are getting only one dimension. So here x is replaced by minus x, y is replaced by minus y, and z is replaced by minus z. This is called as space inversion. And this is one of the very important concept used in quantum mechanics for wave functions. Now you will go for that later on. Wave function can be reflected in space, and that reflection is nothing but parity. So in this case, how this parity comes, we have to show here. Show that this Pn of x is equal to minus 1 raised to n Pn of minus x. So replacing x by minus x, this quantity minus 1 raised to n decides whether the sign changes or a sign doesn't changes. If n is even, then minus 1 raised to even n is now positive number, so Pn of x and Pn of minus x are identical, and that type of parity is said to be even parity or positive parity. So some legendary polynomials where x is replaced by minus x, the value of, or that symbol of that particular Legendre function doesn't change. So that is said to have positive parity. Whereas if n is odd, then -1 raised to odd number, that is minus, and therefore I'll get Pn of x is equal to minus of Pn of minus x, and in that case that particular parity of that type of Legendre polynomial is said to be odd parity or negative parity. That is what to write in very brief. Under transformation, so one dimension we have taken, x is to be replaced by minus x. X is to be replaced by minus x. This gives you Pn of x is equal to Pn of minus x when n is even, order is even, or degree of that particular polynomial is even, then Pn of x is equal to Pn of minus x. Then the function is said to be symmetric. Then the function, here it is polynomial or Legendre function is said to be symmetric or said to have positive or even parity, and if Pn of x is equal to minus Pn of minus x, sign changed, when n is odd. Actually we have proved this property yesterday, we are just writing things associated with that. Pn of x is equal to minus Pn of minus x, then the function is said to be antisymmetric, function is said to be antisymmetric, and it is called as odd parity or negative parity. So every Legendre function has certain either odd parity or even parity, or it has some functions have negative parity or even odd parity. So if given, that means given Legendre function always has certain parity, and this can be said to operate, this can be obtained by this particular n, whether n is even or odd. So all p0, p2, p4, p6 etc., they have even parity, whereas p1, p3, p5, p7 etc. have odd parity. So that is to be understood from this particular form, this expression here. Okay, and now there are two more derivations I am giving here, 7 and 8. You can take it from directly from the book. Show that. So we are not going to discuss this here, you can take directly from your textbook. Show that it is p dash n plus 1 of x minus p dash n minus 1 of x is equal to twice n plus 1 into Pn of x. This is an exercise for you. As well as number 9, show that this is p dash of n plus 1 of x is equal to n plus 1 into Pn of x plus x times p dash n of x. So both of these are, you'll find on page number 4.9, okay, on the Nirali book. Get it solved and get it note down in your next textbook, because one of that derivation may be generally asked. याच्यातलं एक derivation कधी कधी विचारलं जाऊ शकतं. These are simple, same आहे. We have to just use recurrence relation for obtaining solutions of both of these, property number 8 and property number 9. So need not worry about that, it's not difficult. Just go for this page number 4.9 and 4.8, 4.8 and 4.9. 4.8 and 4.9, this will give you this. So this is an exercise. Sorry, this is an exercise for you all. Okay, so you have to prove both of these properties. So see, most of the properties earlier we have discussed are exactly similar. So what is the treatment that is to be followed for differentiating with respect to x, for differentiating with respect to t? Based upon that, different type of properties can be obtained here. So some of the properties you already seen. These two properties I have given for you to understand or to get from the textbook directly. Again, solve both of these. Solve, get how each and every term is taken there, and then you can get both of these properties. Now these properties have lot many applications in mathematics as well as physics, as all I have said earlier. And 10th and the last most important property, that is called as orthogonality. Now in vectors, we have called vectors orthogonal, means perpendicular. So vector a bar dot b bar, if equal to 0, we call vector a bar and b bar are orthogonal to each other or perpendicular to each other. Similarly, in case of curvilinear coordinate system in chapter 1 in TYBSc, we have seen there are e theta, e r cap and e phi cap. So these are the unit vectors along, this is theta direction, r direction and phi direction, and we have shown that er cap dot e phi cap is equal to 0, or er cap dot e theta cap is equal to 0. So these what unit vectors of orthogonal curvilinear coordinate system are also found to be 0. So such systems are called as orthogonal. So curvilinear coordinate system, specifically xyz Cartesian coordinate system, where I, j, k are unit vectors, they are perpendicular to each other. So I dot j, I dot k, k dot j, etc. all are found to be 0, so they are perpendicular. So Cartesian coordinate system is said to be orthogonal coordinate system. Similarly, spherical polar coordinate system and cylindrical coordinate system, these are also found to be orthogonal coordinate system. Now this concept of orthogonality is used in case of Legendre polynomial as well. How? That is what we are going to discuss here in the orthogonality. Now what is this condition? This is here minus 1 to 1, integral from minus 1 to 1. This function is p(n) of x. Another Legendre function is p(n) of x into dx. This product gives you integral minus 1 to plus 1 p(n) of x into p(m) of x into dx is equal to delta mn. Okay, where this delta mn is called as Kronecker. I don't know how many you do know about this. Kronecker, Kronecker, Kronecker delta function. And this function has a speciality for a, okay, I think you might have heard about this type of function. This function only at a particular value it becomes maximum, and for all other things it is to be equal to 0, and that means is delta mn, where m is equal to n and is equal to 0 when m and n are not same. So this is the property, mathematical property in mathematics, wherein the product of this integral of product of two functions p(n) of x and p(m) of x, if it is integrated over the space from minus 1 to plus 1 of the value of dx, this will give either delta mn or it will give you 0, provided if m and n are identical or same, we'll get Kronecker delta function or value to be equal to 1. Otherwise, for all the values of m and n, if they are not equal, we will get to be equal to 0. This is called as orthogonality. Now this concept of orthogonality is quite useful in quantum mechanics, where we deal with different types of wave functions. So wave functions are said to be orthogonal if they provide or they obey the property which is shown here for this Legendre functions too. So we have to remember this property here, that's all. And we have tried for a few lines about this orthogonality. When the value of integration is 0, when the value of integration is 0, then Legendre functions or polynomials, Legendre functions are said to be orthogonal. are said to be orthogonal to each other, or said to be orthogonal to each other over the interval from -1 to +1 of the argument x. This is the definition of the orthogonality of Legendre functions or Legendre polynomial, and based upon that we have to prove that. Again, this is a much more mathematical derivation. Several times this is asked for PG. MSCच्या मुलांना खूप वेळा हे डेरिव्हेशन विचारलं जातं. So be very careful about this. Integral from -1 to +1. This is Pn of x square, this bracket square, into dx is equal to 2 upon 2n plus 1. So using this orthogonality condition, we have to prove this. Integral from -1 to 1 plus 1, Pn of x square into dx is equal to 2 upon 2n plus 1. We have to prove this, and let's go for its proof. Again, too much mathematical, but here also we have to start with the generating function. So consider the GF, generating function. Write the generating function there. What is generating function? It is g of xt is equal to 1 minus twice xt plus t square, that raised to -half, is equal to summation over n equal to 0 to infinity Pn of x into t raised to n. This is my definition of our earlier case. We call this equation 1. Now square, okay, this equation, squaring both sides. So square of this raised to -half, its square will become simply -1. So it is 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to -1. So making square, this 2 and that 2 will get cancelled. You will get this, and right hand side will be simply summation over n equal to 0 to infinity. This time it is in the bracket Pn of x bracket square into t raised to twice n. Call this to be equation 2. So squaring, I'll get this equation. Now integrating equation 2. Over the interval -1 to +1, we get, what is this? I can integrate this. Now this is in the numerator and with raised to -1 is there, so I can write this as, left hand side can be written as integral from -1 to +1. This is now dx in the numerator, divide by, since it's -1 in the numerator, can be taken the denominator, so it becomes plus. So this is minus twice xt plus t square is equal to, this time here it is an integral. Now this integral with respect to x, therefore this t raised to twice n can be taken outside of the bracket, 2 raised to twice n, t raised to twice n, integral again from -1 to +1, and this time it is in the bracket Pn of x square of the bracket into dx. So we have to find out this quantity using the left hand side of this equation number 3. Now again we have to go for substitution method. So concentrate on the left hand side of this equation number 3. So here take this 1 minus twice xt plus t square is equal to y. If I take this to be y, I can get dy is equal to, differential of y is equal to, okay, with respect to x, it gives me this twice t into dt, twice, sorry, 2 into dx, not dt, differential with respect to x. Y is equal to 1 minus twice xt plus t square. T is not a function of x, therefore function of y, x is, y is only x, and therefore differential this twice t remains as it is, differential of this is my dx, and negative sign is there. So I'll get this dy is equal to twice t into dx, and therefore dx is equal to minus dy upon twice t. And one more change we have to go. When x takes value to be plus 1, when x takes value to be plus 1, what happens to y? Here, when x becomes plus 1, this becomes 1 minus twice t plus t square. Then y becomes 1 minus twice t plus t square, and here this 1 minus twice t plus t square is simply 1 minus t square. So y becomes 1 minus t square when x becomes plus 1, and when x takes value to be minus 1, here this becomes 1 minus minus is plus, so it is twice plus twice t into t square. So that gives you y becomes 1 plus twice t plus t square, and here it is 1 plus t square. So this limits of integration minus 1 and plus 1, they can be replaced by this limits of integration for t, where it is by plus 1 plus t square and 1 minus t square accordingly. Okay, and therefore left hand side LHS of equation 3. See the left hand side of equation number 3, we will get this integral from minus 1 to plus 1 dy upon 1 minus twice xt plus t square. This can be written as, okay, we have already written this dy can be written as dx, this was dx, it was dx here, so this can be written as 1 upon twice t. Just look at this, so this dx is equal to minus dy upon twice t, so and this twice t is coming from that, so it is 1 upon twice t and limits of integration are now from here, it is 1 minus t square to 1 plus t square. These limits are shifted, multiplied by dy upon y. So I am replacing this dx, so it becomes dy by 2, and here this is the denominator itself is y, and the limits of integration are 1 minus t square and into up to 1 plus t square. Okay, and see we have changed the order of the integration because there is one negative sign is there, and to make this sign positive we have replaced this. या दोघांचे लिमिट्स आपण खाली वरती केलेत कशासाठी, because this negative sign appears there in this above derivations. To make this positive we have changed the limits of the integration as shown there. Okay, and now integral of dy upon y is always log y, so this is 1 upon twice t, simple integral into log of y, and limits of integration are, here it is 1 plus t square, here it is 1 minus t square, limits of integration. Solving this, one will get 1 upon twice t as it is so get this particular things here, it is 2 times log of 1 plus t. Okay, this 2 can be taken here while replacing this value of y is 1 plus t square, so 2 log y is 2 log 1 plus t, that can be written here, minus 2 log 1 minus t. Now here this is 2, this 2 and this 2 can be cancelled, so it is simply 1 upon t into, this can be written as log of in the bracket 1 plus t upon 1 minus t. So 1 by t log to the base no, log of 1 plus t upon 1 minus t, that is adjustment. So this is my equation number 4. Now look at this here, but this log of 1 plus t, this is a series. So someone may be knowing this series. This series can be written as t minus t square upon 2 plus t cube upon 3 minus t raised to 4 upon 4 plus t raised to 5 upon 5 and so on. So plus minus alternate terms are there. This is my equation 5. Similarly, another series log of 1 minus t. This is also simply written as minus t, all terms are negative, minus t square upon 2 minus t cube upon 3 minus t raised to 4 upon 4 minus t raised to 5 upon 5 plus minus. So this is my equation 6. So this is another important part. You must understand or know that this log of 1 plus t is expressed by this power series as shown by equation number 5. Log of 1 minus t is expressed by this power series as shown by equation 1 minus equation number 6. So subtract equation 5 from 6. Sorry, 6 from 5. Subtracting equation 6 from 5. So I'll get log of 1 plus t minus log of 1 minus t is equal to. Now here look at this. I'm not okay. We can do this calculation. T minus t square upon 2 plus t cube upon 3 minus t raised to 4 upon 4 plus t raised to 5 upon 5 plus dot dot dot. This is my first series minus, now this is minus t minus t square upon 2 minus t cube upon 3 minus t raised to 4th upon 4 and so on. Okay, not for factorial. T raised to 5 upon 5 and minus. Now this is minus becomes plus. So every term here will become will become plus, and there is term here, this is minus t square upon 2, that will get cancelled. Now this is positive here, this is negative here, this term is negative here, this term will become positive here, and there will be t and there is additional t. There is t square upon 3, there is one more t square upon 3 here. So adjusting all this, I'll get another very simple series, 2 into the bracket t plus t cube upon 3 plus t raised to 5 upon 5 plus t raised to 7 upon 7, and all odd terms series will be obtained. So 2 into this is this. Okay, so got this, and therefore I can write this as, if I change karte, therefore 1 upon t into log of 1 plus t upon 1 minus t. This is the same. What we have written here is this log of 1 plus t upon log of 1 minus t. Log of 1 plus t upon 1 minus t is can be written this way also. So it's 1 upon t into this. I'll get 2 will be there, and since t in the denominator, this t, one of the t can be cancelled everywhere. So one gets in the bracket 1 plus t square upon 3 plus t raised to 4th upon 5 plus t raised to 6 upon 7 and so on. And if someone knows this series in the bracket, this is not familiar to you, but this particular series gives you, can be obtained by this summation or n equal to 0 to infinity by this factor t raised to twice n divided by 2n plus 1. So take n is equal to 0, I'll get simply equal to 1 in the denominator, and t raised to 0 is 1. So I'll get first term. When I put n is equal to 1, so 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3, and t raised to 2 into 1 is t square. I'll get second term. When I put n equal to 2, then 2n plus 1 is 5, so you'll get this denominator, and 2 into 2 is 4, so you will get this term. So this series can be written in the compact form as shown by this summation symbol and all that. Okay, that is what this, and therefore we'll get, finally we can write minus 1 to plus 1, this dx upon 1 minus twice xt plus t square raised to minus raised to 1, nothing is that. This is equal to 2 times summation over n is equal to 0 to infinity t raised to twice n upon twice n plus 1. That is my one of the equation. This is equation number 7. Okay, and now substitute this in our equation number 3. बघा मागचं 3 equation. This equation 3 is this. Okay, this is my equation number 3. So this left hand side of equation 3 can be replaced by what we have obtained just now here. So this is what left hand side of equation number 3. This is right hand side. So this right hand side of equation number 7 and right hand side of equation number 7, they can be equated. So right here, equating RHS of equation 3 and 7. Equating RHS of equation 3 and 7, दोन्हीचा product equate करा, you'll get this is summation over n equal to 0 to infinity. This is t raised to 2n summation over t raised to 2n summation over sorry, not this. I have written थोड़से वेगळ्या पद्धतीने बघा. This can be written as summation over n t raised to twice n integral from minus 1 to plus 1 minus 1 to plus 1 in the bracket Pn of x. I am writing this right hand side of equation number 3 first. Pn of x bracket square into dx, and now right hand side of this is twice summation over n equal to 0 to infinity, here also 0 to infinity, and this is t raised to twice n divided by 2n plus 1. And see, compare coefficient of t raised to twice n here. This is also t raised to twice n here. So on both sides of this equation number 8, we are getting t raised to twice n as the power. So compare coefficient of this t raised to twice n. So comparing coefficient of t raised to twice n on both sides of above equation. Okay, that is equation number 8. Comparing above equation number 8, we get, okay, this is 2 summation and t raised to twice n, summation and t raised to twice n, that is there. So equating these coefficients of this t raised to n, I'll get minus 1 to 1 integral in the bracket Pn of x bracket square into dx is equal to 2 upon twice n plus 1. That is my equation 9, and this is the required proof. This is the required proof. Okay, note, this orthogonality condition is quite useful, okay, in statistical mechanics. Several problems are there in quantum mechanics and in electrodynamics too. So there are several branches of physics where this orthogonality condition of legendary function or legendary polynomial is used. It has large applications, lot many applications in almost all these branches of physics. That's why this is one of the very, very important property of this type of legendary function. So here we have finished this legendary function part of the legendary function of a as a spatial function. So all what we have seen here is its definition, how to define legendary function or legendary polynomial, how to obtain it from generating function, what are the different properties, also how to obtain it using from this Rodrigues formula, and then what is the orthogonality of this type of legendary function, how to prove it, and how to obtain this integral from -1 to +1 Pn of x bracket square into dx is equal to 2 upon 2n plus 1. So note, for undergraduate student, for BSc student, this derivation is not that important. No one asks you that, but sometimes may be asked in examination. But for PG people, for MSc 1, this is one of the very prime and most important derivations. So you can call here, I am writing there for PG. For PG, this is VINP. Orthogonality of legendary polynomial is another very important concept in MSc physics, in mathematical physics, as well as in statistical mechanics and quantum mechanics and electrodynamics. You are going to come across this type of condition very many times, several different types of situations or physical problems. So remember, this orthogonality condition plays very vital role in physics in almost all branches of physics. So that is here we have finished the first part of this chapter, that is the legendary functions. Now PG people may have associated legendary functions too. Next part of that is there, but for UG people it is not going to there, and you people can study this part later on if you want, this PG people, but we will try to cover this particular part later on whenever we meet there. Okay, so today we have almost finished 1 hour and 5 to 10 minutes we have taken. So I think we should stop, because next function we are going to derive is the Hermite polynomial. This will not be covered in the remaining half hour. So tomorrow or day after, whenever I call, you have to join me for this particular lecture, and then we will go for the second function, that is the Hermite function or Hermite polynomials. That's all. Just a minute, let me